The human urge to need external validation is a fucking pain in the ass. Okay, it's a pain in the ass. We are absolutely programmed to care about external validation. And whilst I want to help you and help myself to be your own source of validation, to be my own source of validation, I know that it's not a simple thing to do. I know that our brains are hardwired to seek other people's validation because that's how our brains created safety. Safety is in numbers, and if we're fucking freaks to all of our jungle folk back in the day, hunter-gatherer times, then we're gonna get kicked out, we're gonna be left out on our own. And it's a survival instinct, you know? So the first thing you have to do is drop any shame that you might have if you still care about what other people think, because you are hardwired to. And I'm not saying that as an excuse. I'm saying that because it's fucking the truth. And people spend all of their lives, they spend their whole life living for other people. Majority of people probably do that. We're searching for that love without realizing that it's within us. So even if you logically know the reasons why you shouldn't seek external validation, even if you watched a bunch of self-help shit, take it easy on yourself if you do still care. And I think that's a really important stage of healing this wound, is accepting that, yeah, I do care what other people think, and yeah, it's actually normal, and I'm not going to beat myself up for it, but also I want to lead myself out of this trap because I know it's hurting me. So you have to come with it first with compassion. But basically today in this video, I want to try and help you, hopefully offer you some perspectives that help you rationalize and realize truly, deeply, how pointless it is to care about external validation. So usually the need for external validation obviously comes from fear, right? Because we're scared that we won't have our needs met, that we won't be safe in the pack or whatever. And because of the nature of that, when we're moving out of fear, we're not really moving in true resonance with ourself, our authentic expression, right? So usually when someone is really seeking external validation, whilst they're doing that, they're not presenting their authentic self. It just ruins the whole point of external validation, because the point is that we want other people to see us for who we are. But when we're searching for external validation, we change ourselves into something that we think that they'll like, so that these people can see us. But if we're changing ourselves to impress other people, they never actually get to see the real us. They never actually get to see the authentic us, because we're changing for what we think they want. Nothing is getting done because we're just being inauthentic. They are not actually seeing us for who we truly are. It's actually crazy. So obviously, we care about other people's opinions sometimes a bit too much. I think you know this, but people are fickle. You know, as we've seen in social media with celebrities, people will love someone one day and literally despise them the next. And they'll be cancelled just like that. They'll be sending death threats. They'll be doing all of this shit. People's minds can change so quickly with the drop of a dime. So why are we building up our whole self-esteem, our whole life path over someone that could just drop us like that? If they are your source of validation and you are not your source of validation, you're going to live a very miserable life. And I think it's important to remember that sometimes family can be fickle too, or close friends, right? So often when we think of validation, we think, oh, we want strangers to validate us. But a lot of the times it can be the people closest to us too. And we put their opinion above ours, especially our parents, because we think that older equals wiser. But that is not true. Wisdom comes from experiencing pain, learning, healing, and growing through it. But a lot of people, and older people, experience pain, but they don't learn and they don't heal through it. They don't look at the pain as a lesson. They add it onto their ego and create more pain for other people. So old does not mean wise. Okay, you can be 20 years old and be wiser than a 70-year-old. And the only reason why is because you've actually taken on the lessons that you've been presented. But that 70-year-old is still stuck on their first lesson. So you have to understand that your validation is always going to be the most important thing in the world, because it's your soul and it's your life and it's your feelings and it's your emotions. If you've ever had a family member or a friend completely support you when you do something that they like, but drop you or insult you or abandon you the second that you do something cringe, the second that you fail your exams, if they're not there for you through the lows and the highs, why are you taking these people's validation? Why are you trying to impress them? Do you understand that you can never impress them? Do you understand that they don't see you? They just see the shell of you? Only have people in your life that are going to validate you through it all. Obviously, you need people in your life that won't just like be yes men. But if someone is rude to you, insults you, abandons you, gives you the silent treatment, if you do something that they don't rate and you're still seeking their validation just because they're a family member, just because they're a friend, just because you've known them for ages, you're in fucking deep trouble, because people will spend their whole lives miserable in a job for someone that doesn't even care truly about them, that doesn't even truly see them. You got to think about who's going to stay in my life even when I fuck up, who's going to love me even when I do something that is not so impressive that people look down on, who is going to be there for me. And that's who you should listen to. That's who you should seek, if any, validation from. I really can't take anything personally, because everybody has been programmed. I've been programmed, you've been programmed, we all have unconscious biases. So for an example, there are two kids in front of me and I tell one kid that blue is the best colour and red is fucking ugly, and I drill it into them every single day, and I tell them, look, if someone's wearing blue, they are a good person. If they're wearing red, you kill them. Okay, that's a bit extreme, but you get what I mean. And then the other boy, I say vice versa. Red is the worst colour. Like, if anyone's wearing red, you don't like them. And I tell them this every single day. That belief has been programmed into them. And they don't even really know why they believe what they believe, but they just do. So when fucking Tommy, one of the boys, yeah, who's told that blue is the best colour, sees you wearing red, his subconscious is going to remember all the times he's been told that red is bad, and fucking shame you for it, and hate you for it, and kill you for it. But it doesn't mean that red is objectively bad. It just means that they have been programmed with this story. So if, for example, you have a feature on your face that you don't really like, that the world just has decided to hate, you have to understand that that is not the objective truth. What I'm trying to say is that beauty standards or certain opinions about how you should do things, it's not really based in much truth. But you can decide what's true. You can decide what is the beauty standard. You can have your own opinions that are not influenced by anybody else. And you probably have unconscious biases towards yourself because you have taken in the programming from birth, like one of these boys that I was talking about in the example. Your thoughts aren't necessarily truth. Your opinions aren't necessarily truth. Because sometimes when we don't like something in ourselves and we're trying to validate ourselves, but we're like, without these people's opinions, I actually don't like this thing on my body. You have to think to yourself, well, where did that opinion come from? And the way you can check yourself is like, think about you as a 5-year-old. Did you have this opinion? You know? Or was it programmed into you? And then you can realize that it's not actually the objective truth, it's your subjective truth because of what you've been programmed, because of what you unconsciously know to be good and bad. But it's a good thing to realize that you've been programmed, because it means that you have the capability to be programmed again. You have the capability to be programmed to actually like your body, to like that scar that you were taught to hate, to like your big fucking hairy ass feet. Also, another reason why there's literally just no use in caring about what other people think about you, is the fact that you will never truly 100% know what somebody thinks of you anyway. Because somebody could say to you, you're ugly. No, you look ugly in that. But in their mind, they're thinking, oh shit, she's beautiful. You don't know what other people are thinking ever. Even if they make it seem so obvious that they think a certain way, you don't know the truth. So whilst you're there thinking, oh, this person thinks I'm ugly, you've taken that as truth, but that's not even the actual truth. They think that you're beautiful. And it's the same vice versa. Someone could say, oh, I really like you, you're my best friend. But really, they're jealous of you and they don't really like you, and tomorrow they're gonna fucking cut you off. Like, you don't know, so you can't base your value off of what somebody says, over what somebody does. Obviously, I'm not telling you to not trust people and like not believe in your friends and your loved ones and believe in the good of people. But what I'm saying is to base your whole worth on what somebody says about you, on what somebody thinks about you, is such a dangerous thing to do, because you don't know ever if that is the whole and the complete truth. All you have in this world is yourself, your mind, your perception. That is going to be the most important and the most valuable tool that you will ever have. And sometimes we get into these situations where we're overthinking. We're like, oh God, like I know they just don't like me, or oh gosh, I bet she's thinking all these horrible things about me, or oh, I wonder if she thinks I look pretty today. It's like such wasted energy, because we're never gonna know. Like, we're never gonna know. So what's the point? I had this thought when I was younger about perception, and I don't know why I had this thought so fucking young, and maybe some of you lot have had it too. But I thought to myself, well, how do I know that everybody is seeing the same colours as I'm seeing? Because I can't ever explain to them what this colour looks like. So 10 people might be looking at the colour red, but to that person, my red is actually their blue, because they've known it to be blue their whole lives. So what I'm trying to say is that you are the only viewer. You're the only mind in this life. Like, you don't know what other people are seeing. You don't know. So how are you going to be the only viewer and not rate yourself? How are you going to be the only mind of your known awareness and not validate yourself, and not think that you're beautiful, and not think that you're talented, and not think that you're smart? Like, damn. And sometimes you're like, well, how? How do I validate myself? Because I can look in the mirror and go, you're beautiful, but I might not feel it. And that's the key. You validate yourself through not empty words, not through quotes that you post on Instagram. You validate yourself through your emotions. What are you trying to feel inside when you're trying to get somebody else's attention or validation? I feel like the emotion for me is I want to feel seen, I want to feel comfortable, I want to feel worthy, I want to feel special, right? When I'm seeking other people's validation. I can just feel all of those feelings right now. I can actually just take a second and feel it. What would it feel like to feel worthy? What would it feel like to feel special? What would it feel like to be seen? And just conjure up those emotions in yourself and pretend that you feel it. Pretend that you feel it enough and enough. More times, you're going to end up actually feeling that way. You're going to end up feeling worthy if you practice the emotion. And that's how you truly develop validation within yourself. Because what it is a feeling. It is feeling safe in your body. It's feeling comforted. It's feeling seen. You're searching for people's validations because you don't see yourself. You only see yourself through the lens of other people, but you never see yourself through your own psyche, through your own lens. And that is why you're searching for it so much. You're searching for you. You're searching for your own love. You're searching for you to see yourself. You're searching for you to see your own talents, for you to see your own beauty. No one can ever give that to you. And we've seen it. We've seen models, we've seen superstars, we've seen all of these people that have so much external validation. So many people love them, but inside, they feel shit about themselves. Like, there are so many cases of that where someone just feels talentless and they're the most fucking talented person you've ever met. And that's because how can they truly believe that they're talented if they don't believe it first? They might believe it for 10 seconds, but it fades away because you can only ever truly validate your own. Yeah, man, it's not an easy thing to do. Like, you go back and forth, you get triggered, you feel unsafe sometimes, you doubt yourself, you struggle to get the balance of validation and accountability, and it's a struggle. But I hope you devote yourself to validating yourself, to seeing yourself, and when you do, the external validation will come in. I'm not saying that external validation is wrong. I like being praised. I like people saying that they like me. I like those feelings. I like to know that I'm doing good in the world, that people seem to get on with me, people seem to like me, you know? Like, that is not something that I want you to just like take away from yourself, but also realizing that it's not the be all and end all, obviously. But yeah, that's basically all I wanted to talk about. And it's such a big subject, I feel like I talk about it forever. But hopefully I helped you a little bit. And I haven't posted for a while, and if you have subscribed to me and you're still stuck around, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And if you're not subscribed and you like this content, then subscribe, because I've got a lot of things to say. Take care of yourself, babe.